Steam just lost a major legal motion, which can end up costing them close to $1 billion. But
$1 billion? If you're a broke boy, just say so.
But there's a whole lot at stake here, because right now this case is challenging the rules that Steam has set for PC gaming over the last 20 years. And this can actually reshape the entire PC gaming industry depending on how all of this plays out. So back in June of 2024, a woman named...
Is this, don't, no, it's her. Oh, lads, let's hold me, she's appearing. She just looks like a fucking paralysis demon. Ah, Lord, she's coming. Why would you put on that? Oh no, she's coming. Bro, I am not mentally ready for this. It's like worse than a horror movie. You will turn to stone? Bro, I'm already stoned. I am already rock solid.
Vicky Shotbelt, who runs an organization that focuses on children.
Wait. No, this is Vicky Cumshot, right? Oh my god. Oh my god, her forehead is so long. Oh my god. Oh my god, I can see the whole egg. Please. It's Vicky Cumshot. I named her Vicky Cumshot. She's an undead Karen, unironically. She's British. Yeah. Dude, she has like no eyebrows. Where did that go?
That focuses on children's digital safety. She filed a lawsuit against Valve and
it's not about children's digital safety. I can promise you.
The UK's Competition Appeal Tribunal. Vicky has spent roughly 2 decades working in digital rights advocacy, and for this case, she's even established a dedicated legal entity to represent the UK consumers through a collective.
See, this is why women need hobbies. Because otherwise they will do shit like this. Can we sue her? That would be so good.
Action. And here in her lawsuit, she's going after Valve for roughly 656 million Great British pounds, which is about $900 million, on the behalf of an estimated 14 million people in the United Kingdom who've purchased games and add-on content on Steam since June of 2018. Okay.
This is why the UK was a mistake. I wanted to say that we could just like push them into the water, but they are already an island surrounded by water. So at this point, I'm not really sure what we can do with them. Maybe we could push them to the Bermuda Triangle? And they would just mysteriously disappear or something? Push them next to California? So that they can, like, the Californian Karens could take out the UK Karens and they would have, like, a Karen PvP somewhere? Wait. Do you think I'm onto something? Am I? Yeah, it's like a Karen off. I think there could be UK, Aussie, and Kelly can hang out together. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, boy. I'm not sure if I'm going to survive that.
First of all, that's insane. That's a crazy amount of potential claimants, because in practice, what this means is if Valve were to actually lose this case, the money wouldn't go to Vicky herself. In theory, the money would be distributed across roughly 14 million UK Steam users.
I guarantee you, they are not gonna get anything. Like, how do you imagine? It's like, oh wow, I fucked up your Steam. Here, have $10, but you also have no access to Steam anymore. Like, Ladies and gentlemen, brand new Space Cat, Gamersup's Metal Cup and Mousepad and T-shirt alert. Only for a limited amount of time. Use code SCOOCHN to grab yours today. What? Like, huh? It's not even a cent, bruh.
Which gives each user the grand sum of somewhere between 22 and 44 Great British pounds.
Oh, look at that. Like, you can almost buy half of a AAA game with that. Or, you know, one fourth of it. No? Well, it's 44 pounds. So how much is it in 1/3 of a AAA? It's one Silksong though. That's true. Based.
Pounds. That is just a theory of what could happen, not a guaranteed payout or split. But a key detail here is this kind of lawsuit in the UK is an opt-out, not opt-in, which means that if you're a UK resident who bought stuff on Steam during this time frame, you're already...
That's such a shit thing to do. that you can. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, we are fighting this fight in your name. If you don't like it, you have to opt out. What? It's like when YouTube announced that they are going to put like AI subtitle and AI narration, and they just sort of forced it onto every channel, and you had to opt out of it. And I'm like, bitch, I didn't ask for this. Leave me alone. What the hell?
A part of this lawsuit unless you specifically say that you don't want to be involved. Now, obviously, Valve were not going to just not fight back, so they filed to get this entire case dismissed before it could even go to trial, essentially arguing a whole bunch of technical points about why it shouldn't qualify as a collective action. They also said the methodology for calculating damages were also flawed, and that it would be impossible to properly identify who should get compensated, and the whole economic analysis behind the case just didn't hold up. The court, however,
have they considered just, I don't know, calling her a Karen and watch her freak out about it? Or something like that? Or, I don't know, distract her with I don't know, something unimportant? Take her TV away? Bro, I'm not sure if that would work. But I'm trying to think, what triggers Karens? What you could show them like kids having fun with a game, maybe with like something like Doom, like something super aggressive. It's just like and she would like crash out or something. Show her GTA, dude, the schmeck scenes from Cyberpunk.
Actually ruled with Shotbolt's team, and just a couple of weeks ago, the Competition Appeal Tribunal issued a ruling that rejected Valve's
Can't believe that her name is Cumshot. What a name.
objections and greenlit the lawsuit to proceed. They acknowledged that, yeah, some of the economic analysis is complicated, but that's definitely not a valid reason to completely end the case at this stage. Now, the core argument of this lawsuit comes down to three major allegations, apparently all from how Valve uses Steam's massive market dominance. First up, so we have price controls. The lawsuit here claims that Valve enforces what's called platform parity obligations, basically rules that prevent game developers from selling their games cheaper on other platforms. So if you're a developer and you want your game on Steam, you allegedly aren't allowed to sell the game cheaper on any other platforms like Epic Games Store or on your own website than what it's sold for on Steam. Now, to somewhat verify that, Valve's public guidelines do mention that if developers run sales or discounts on Steam keys sold through their websites, they need to offer similar deals to people buying directly on Steam within a reasonable amount of time. And the exact phrasing they use is that developers should not give Steam customers a worse deal than what's available anywhere else.
But is that a super unfair request? I think I have a trouble understanding why this is a problem. It's like, imagine that you have like Chanel bags and you go to sell them in the Chanel store for $10,000, but you go to Tesco and you sell them for $500. Like, obviously, there's going to be a real discrepancy about it. No? Nah, it's totally based on fair request, right? So how can they be sued for this?
But whether that's a
Stop using logic on a Karen, you're wasting brains. Oh, okay. I just want to understand because I can't help but feel like that it's fair. But you know, I might be wrong.
Suggestion or an enforced requirement is a part of what this lawsuit is trying to establish. And the reason indie studios would often want to sell outside of Steam is because of Steam's 30% commission on sales. But I guess to counter that, Steam is by far the best gaming platform.
Yeah, let's be honest with you. 30% is not that bad.
Steam takes 30% out of your revenue by making it you can't sell it lower. They cock-block platforms that try to take less from game devs.
Bro, but have you seen other websites? Like, every fucking website takes a chunk of, a big chunk of your revenue. Like Twitter is taking your revenue, YouTube is taking your revenue. If you join any kind of organization, PayPal is taking your revenue. I don't think that 30% is that bad, honestly. I really like fucking Twitch subs. Like, I am not getting you know what? The only good revenue is really Kick. I think Kick gets like a 95 to 5 or some shit like that. I think that's actually crazy, but they are based off of like gambling shit, so they can afford it. Well, 30, it's not nothing. 30% is a lot, but it's more like that's basically the standard. Yeah. So it's not like, whoa. It's not like Niji-sanji taking 90% of your income.
They built a community and an ecosystem like no one else, which I guess is why they can justify the 30% fee. Like,
also, you know what you're not taking into accounting? In sales, do you know what's the most important thing? It's a marketplace or like a board where people who are just browsing can explore new things. About Steam, that's probably the most valuable thing. You will be in a ranking, you will be getting ads on the front page, you're going to be featured, and people will have a chance to explore your game. That's the most precious thing.
for example, I've been using Steam for like 16 years now, and throughout those years, I played a lot of games with a lot of friends. Number one,
he's a Nekopara user.
It's an awesome tool for me to keep in contact with old friends, but something I noticed is when your friends launch a game, you get this little pop-up on the corner of your screen on what they're playing. And that pop-up is genius because I found so many cool games just because I see friends of mine constantly playing some new game I haven't heard about. And I mean, I can't be the only one who's bought games based on what my friends are playing. But the second major accusation is how DLC and add
Gooning game, gooning game, gooning game, gooning game. I like to start at the game. Haha!
on content work. Because, as the lawsuit puts it, when you buy a game on Steam, you're basically locked into buying all future DLC content through Steam as well. And you can't just buy a game on Steam and then grab an expansion pack from a different storefront like the Epic Games Store or so on. But I feel like this whole point is extremely dumb because this is not something that's exclusive to Steam. Pretty much every digital platform operates in this way. PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, Epic Games, like they're all built around the same idea. You have to buy all the DLC packages on top of the base game. Like let's say you bought Far Cry off of Ubisoft Connect, formerly known as Uplay, and then one of the DLCs off
Ubisoft Connect, my beloved.
of the
Said no one ever.
Epic Games Store. You wouldn't be able to launch the DLC from the Epic
You can actually do the DLC elsewhere, can you? Oh, it's up to the devs? Ah.
Games launcher without the base game itself being registered to your account. But also, I don't really see a point in buying your base game on either Steam or base game on Epic Games.
Well, then it's not really up to Steam, isn't it? Then why are they trying to sue Steam for something that is not even their decision? I did that with some games. Damn.
And then trying to buy the DLC on vice versa. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And ironically, the same game can actually behave very differently depending on the storefront. Like, PC ports on Epic Games and Steam, for some reason, aren't always identical, because there's been plenty of reports of crashes or bugs on Epic versions that simply don't happen on Steam for some reason. But moving on with the lawsuit then mentions that commission. Because, as I mentioned earlier, as of now, Valve takes a 30% cut of every sale that happens on Steam.
You know what I'm just wondering?
My bad, you can sell your game for a lower price on other platforms, only Steam keys are what you can't sell for lower, which totally makes sense. I stand corrected.
Ah, there you go. See, they are reasonable. You know what I am pondering about? How the fuck did Vicky Cumshot woke up one day and decided I'm going to have a beef with Steam? How the fuck does she even know what Steam is? She's a Karen. Obviously, she's not a gamer. How did she decide that, hey, you know what would be cool? If I would try to ruin a gaming platform. That would be her kid, never mind. I don't know, paid by Epic? Nah. Then it would be actually a competent person leading the entire thing.
So when you buy a game for like $20,
she was the money, the compensation gonna go to her pocket. That's illegal, right? That's it. That has to be illegal.
roughly $6 go to Valve and then $14 goes to the developer. Here, the lawsuit argues that this rate is unreasonably high, especially compared to newer competitors.
You think that Epic Games have fallen so fucking low that not only they are trying to sue Steam, but they are also hiring or bribing a Karen to do their dirty job for them? Really? That low? A freaking Karen? Why not? I don't know, never fall that low. Never fucking fall that low. Not to the Karen hole. Tim Sweeney's a mental child. Yeah, but a Karen? Jesus.
Like Epic Games Store, which only charges 12%. They claim that Valve can keep this higher rate specifically because of their market dominance, and since developers just can't afford to not
Scoots Epic, they're mentally ill. Too much Fortnite, huh?
be on Steam, they have to accept this. But this is also a little bit tricky because just like the cross-store purchases thing, this is not exclusive to Valve and Steam. I would pretty much go as far to say that 30% rate is pretty industry standard because Apple charges 30% on the App Store, Google charges 30% on their Play Store, and even GOG, which has, you know, a reputation for
Don't tell them about GOG, okay? I like my GOG accounts. Please let them be. They are good boys. They are sensitive good boys. Please hide them. Please. My GOG.
being more developer friendly.
Do you call it GOG or GOG? I always called it GOG, but he said GOG. Now it makes me wonder.
Still charges 30%.
Gah.
So the rate in itself isn't really unusual. And if they, you know,
Gog.
win based on how steep that rate is, what does it say for the rest of the, like, I guess we have to sue everyone then. But if this lawsuit succeeds, not only UK Steam users could actually receive some level of compensation for allegedly overpaying for games in recent years. And individually, that payout, it's not like it's going to be some life-changing money. It's going to be like, you know, $20 to $40.
Listen, $20 or $40 is $20 or $40, okay? Like, you can use it for, I don't know, like a blowjob from a really ugly hooker or something. And that's so much better for the kids, actually, than playing games, if you think about it. Absolutely. 10 out of 10. Thanks, Karen.
But obviously, when you combine, you know, $20 to $40 to every single person, it
Buy a
adds
game
up
of
to
Steam.
about $900 million, which is crazy because that's what they're seeking in the lawsuit. But I feel like a more significant issue isn't even the compensation itself. It's what a ruling like that could mean for how Steam operates going forward. Because if the court finds that Valve's business practices are genuinely anti-competitive, they could be ordered to make substantial changes. And most likely, those changes wouldn't just be in the UK. But despite all that, there's still this one
I swear to God, we have to push the UK to the Bermuda Triangle. I had enough of them lately. I swear to God, they are fiddling with the internet. They are fiddling with the goddamn VPN. Stop them. Just pack them up, toss them into the black hole.
complicating factor in the case that might make the entire situation not as clean as it looks on paper, because Steam uses something called Steam keys, which are basically activation codes for games that developers can generate for free and sell whenever they want. That's at least my understanding of them. Because if you buy games on PC, you've probably seen a
Wait, Skew, you don't like how the UK now requires everyone to use HID? No. No, I don't.
whole bunch of these third-party retailers like G2A and Kinguin and so on and so on. And the most important detail is that Valve doesn't take any commission on the Steam keys sales. So if a developer generates 1,000 Steam keys and sells them for whatever the price they want,
Not at all. Not even 10%, not even anything. Oh, that's kind of nice, though. Isn't it nice? You can literally sell it for whatever you price want.
Valve gets $0 from those
pretty
transactions, and the buyer still downloads and plays the game through Steam. So they are still using Valve servers and bandwidth and infrastructure. But here, Valve did not collect their 30% cut. Although, this is a little bit of a gray zone, because sometimes developers sell these keys, and sometimes these keys are leaked and then sold on these other websites. Because there's definitely been a whole bunch of scandals where stolen Steam keys are sold on these third-party websites.
I was always wondering, how do they do that? How is it possible that you can buy like these games for like $10 or $20 if you go to these shady websites? Like, how the fuck do they get those?
Now, this doesn't completely undermine the whole lawsuit, but it might undercut part of the claim, since there's already this massive side economy of game sales happening right now. And I guess another decent argument for Valve is they're pretty much getting sued for doing the things that are pretty much standard across the entire gaming industry. You know, the 30% commission, almost every platform.
Yeah, but come on. You want to tell a woman that she's wrong and that she's being unreasonable and that she should maybe do her research before opening her mouth and filing a lawsuit. Really? I will tell her, you're a brave man. You're a brave man. I respect that.
Platform charges that. Keeping DLC locked on the platform for the base game, like every major storefront works that way as well. Having pricing guidelines for developers, that's also pretty universal. But competition law, on the other hand, does treat companies differently based on their market position. So practices that would be totally fine for a smaller competitor is apparently a big no-no for a big guy. So it kind of seems like they're designed to be against the market leader. But obviously for it to be a no-no, it still requires them proving Steam has that level of dominance and that their practices are causing measurable harm. Now, the public opinion in this lawsuit doesn't seem as split as what I would have thought, at least, because some gaming news outlets ran a poll asking readers whether they thought Valve's business practices were anti-competitive.
I get it. These are the Karens and these are the gamers. I don't think that gamers have any problem with Valve. That's basically the last company who still sort of cares and they are like being nice and you have like a generous refund policy and everything. And these are like the weirdos.
And something like 84% said no. And I feel like this is mirroring what's currently being said on Reddit. Because I mean, from a user,
But I can't read it if you're like that.
4% said no. And I feel like this is mirroring.
Sounds like a BS lawsuit to me. One of the complaints is that Valve requires the DLC for games to also be available on Steam. How is that anti-consumer? Are companies forced to sell through Steam their game? No. Are Steam enforcing players or publisher to use their platform exclusively? No. Just because people choose Steam as a main platform, it's because it's good and no good competitor outperformed them. Epic tries that and still fails, not a Steam fault. Does Valve even requested exclusivity to Steam over other platforms like Epic? No. Epic does that. Rip Alan Wake 2. And should be having a lawsuit instead. Gaben is winning all the games without doing anything. Let's sue the only non-something question mark game platform.
Mirroring what's currently being said on Reddit. Because I mean, from a user experience, Steam has a lot of features that genuinely treat customers pretty well compared to other platforms, like a refund system,
I love the refund system. I will never not love the refund system.
family sharing, the Steam Workshop, community features, and its ongoing support. I feel like it's kind of just
Epic is actually bad for the consumers. It's bad for my mental health. Epic is sort of like the Apple of the game industry. It's like it has like one or two good stuff and the rest is just trying to squeeze money out of you and it's just like,
a skill issue that Uplay or Uconnect suck that much. Epic Games is like okay at best.
please let me have your children, Gaben. I'm a dude.
And don't even get me started on Origin. The only reason people used Origin or Uplay, which is now Uconnect, is because they were forced to use it. Steam earned its dominant position by simply just being the best product for the longest time. Like Epic Games has been dumping huge amounts of money into their store through exclusive deals and giving away games for free and only charging 12% on sales and all that stuff. But they still can't really compete with Steam in any meaningful way. Some people argue that the market will self-correct.
Oh no, that's so sad. What should we do? Should we make our platform better, more tempting to the consumers, or should we just try to shoot the competition in the feet? Bro, imagine if you would actually meet Vicky Cumshot and it's actually just like Tim Sweeney in like a weird mask, and it's going to be like a whole Scooby-Doo reveal. That I would have gotten away with it if it wouldn't be for these meddling kids. You know?
Like, if Steam is genuinely overcharging, competitors will undercut them and slowly take away their user base. But of course, there are also those people who believe that the network effects and first mover advantages make meaningful competition nearly impossible without intervention. But I mean, in my opinion, it's a slippery slope when regulators choose the winners rather than us, the consumers. This is definitely not the first time something like this has happened, because the developer behind the game Overgrowth filed a similar lawsuit against Valve in the United States back in 2021.
Overgrowth? What?
Epic doesn't even try to compete. Sweeney will do literally anything except make Epic's store usable. He'll even burn massive amounts of money to attack Steam, money he could have used to improve his products instead, but no.
Why do I feel like that this came from heart and experience? Do you have negative experiences with the Epic Store? Perhaps? Catch. Hi. Cieszam la widasz. Mwah.
There they made many of the same arguments, but that case got dismissed initially, but was refiled and achieved, I guess, a class action status. So now it's been slowly working its way through the courts, and it's been 5 years. So developers over the years have been grumbling about Valve, but overall, I mean, this process will...
I can't handle it. It's too popular and people love it and people spend it. I actually believe that these people cannot comprehend that if you provide a good service, people will spend money more easily. You know? It's like, you know how like Marvel Rivals is basically a free game, all the heroes are free, you don't have to unlock it, but they offer like a bunch of like customizations and like costumes and whatever, and people do spend money on it, and they cannot understand how is it possible that they spend the money willingly.
Likely take a long time to see anything happen. But it's definitely worth keeping an eye on, because depending on how it plays out, it can absolutely reshape the fundamentals of PC gaming for everyone, which is why I wanted to sit here and talk about it today. But other than that, if you're new here, feel free to subscribe.
I swear, wait, let me check. I saw an update on this on Twitter. Pirate Nation was saying it, and I think it's for this one. That Valve just won their lawsuit against Lee Rothschild and his companies. Who the fuck is Lee Rothschild? Oh, it's not for that. Oh man, I was hoping that it's against Comshot. The jury found they violated Washington's patent troll prevention. The what? A patent troll prevention act with bad faith infringement claims and breach prior license. Okay, listen, it's not the same, but at least it's a W for them. Okay, we are still waiting for Wiki Comshot. Oh man, I was so hoping. I was like, oh man, they already win? Ain't no way. Sad. Fucking sad. I was almost happy. Gosh darn it. But no. It would have been almost amazing. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's still pretty good, but we will have to wait. This is my copium. I actually don't think that this Vicky person is going to win. Like half of the alleged things are just kind of like bullshit, and lawyers, I'm sure that Valve has like really nice. She already won? No. What are you talking about? Just going to try costing millions for Valve? Okay, don't scare me like that, okay? That's just her being a bitch. That doesn't mean that she won. She's just being an annoying hoe. Maybe they can countersue her or something. You know? That would be good. That would be nice. If they would be like, hey, you caused us trouble, so now frick you. Or something.